I worked overnight security at a self-storage facility in rural Pennsylvania during the winter of 2022. It was one of those places off a highway exit, surrounded by woods and nothing else. My shift ran from midnight to 6 a.m., and most nights, nothing happened. That's why the job paid well. Around 2:17 a.m., one of the motion sensors tripped on my monitor, Unit C14. That wasn't unusual. Wind, animals, bad wiring, it happened all the time. I watched the camera feed for a moment. Nothing moved. I reset the alert and went back to scrolling on my phone. About a minute later, the same alert came back. Same unit. This time, I noticed something I hadn't before. The metal door of C14 was open just a few inches. That didn't make sense. I'd done a full perimeter check less than an hour earlier. Every unit was locked. I grabbed my flashlight and radio and stepped outside. The air was freezing, the kind of cold that makes everything feel quiet and heavy. Snow crunched under my boots as I walked down the road towards C14. The door was still open. Inside the unit, someone had clearly been living there. There was a folding chair, a thin blanket, empty canned food, even a small battery-powered heater. But what stood out most was how clean it was. No mess, no trash scattered around. It looked maintained. I radioed back to the office and reported a trespasser. Then I stepped back outside the unit. That's when I heard movement. Not from inside the unit, from behind me. I turned around, expecting to see someone running or hiding between the rows. There was no one there, but the snow behind me had fresh footprints in it. They hadn't been there before. They led away from the unit and stopped suddenly in the middle of the row, like whoever made them had just vanished. I stood there longer than I should have. Then I did what I was trained to do. I went back to the office and locked the door. On the security cameras, I watched the row where C14 was located. The unit door was now completely closed. I know it was, because I hadn't closed it. I zoomed in on the camera feed. The metal door had scratches on the inside, long marks like fingernails. At around 4 a.m., the motion sensor went off again. This time, it wasn't just C14. It was C13, then C15, in order, like something was moving down the row. But the cameras showed nothing. No shadow, no figure, just empty snow. At the end of my shift, the police arrived to check the unit. They searched C14 thoroughly. No one was inside. Before they left, one of the officers pulled a small notebook from behind the chair. He flipped through it silently, then looked at me. Inside were dates. Every page had the same thing written over and over. Times, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Next to each time were descriptions of sounds. Footsteps, metal door, someone breathing. The last page was different. It only had one line. Tonight, it followed me. I quit that job 2 days later. The unit is still rented. No one has ever come to claim it. And the motion sensor on C14 was eventually disabled because it wouldn't stop detecting movement.